It's been a while since we've been upstairs. We've been doing a lot of cleaning and decluttering on the downstairs, but today we're headed upstairs into the unknown. Well, not really unknown, but the disaster zone. And I just want to say that, you know, this channel is a judgment-free zone, okay? I didn't start this channel because I knew what I was doing. I started this channel because I needed the accountability to get stuff done. So it's finally come to the time that the upstairs cannot be ignored any longer. We've done a lot of moving around here. We are currently trying to downsize toys, and yeah, no excuses. We're gonna get started on it today. We're not gonna finish it today, but we're gonna see what kind of dent we can make. As you can see, I have been saving up boxes. That's because I am optimistic we are gonna be getting rid of stuff. The girls have actually already told me that they are ready to sell and get rid of their American Girl stuff. Actually, most of their American Girl, or you know, our generation stuff, they bought with their own money. So I told them that I will try and sell it for them and see if they can recoup some of their money. They actually still do Barbies, so we're gonna keep that. Eric is the cook in the family, so that's his kitchen over there. And then this is, we've sort of shifted a lot around because we turned the old playroom into kind of like a TV room, and then moved the toys out here, which could be a very big mistake. And then I have plans to convert this back into our homeschool room as well, because we got the light fixed. That light has been broken for some time, and we finally got that fixed. So this is going to be our library, and we have to set that up. And I think that's my goal for today. All right, to get set up, I need to, I think, consolidate these boxes over here and get a giveaway box going and a to sell box going for books. And I just stepped on something. All the curriculum that I'm going to try and sell, I'll put in here, and then I'll use the cardboard boxes for the giveaway stuff. I really debated on whether or not to make this like a 1 hour better. I'm kind of going into it with that mentality, like, give it 1 hour, Shannon. As we all know, the hardest part is just getting started. But I think for my mental load, this is the easiest for me to tackle because I know where everything is gonna go. It's also something I'm the one that needs to tackle because we gotta get rid of stuff. You know, I try not, when you homeschool, it's really easy to collect books, crafts, all that sort of stuff. And so I try and keep it back in the back of my mind to let go of stuff that I know we're not gonna use. Fun fact, this is the first video I filmed after being sick, basically all of the month of June. So this was filmed over the summer. You could probably still hear a little bit of the sickness left in me. It was just too good to just throw in the trash can. You're probably going to see other old videos too that I had filmed because, like I've told you, I haven't given up yet. Your girl's just been going through it. So bear with me as we get through some of these videos because they are so good. And there's some good cleaning and decluttering motivation. And I didn't feel like, I felt like it was too good to just put in the trash can. You know what I mean? And even though I haven't been feeling my best mentally and physically, I did not want that to hamper my progress with this decluttering train. That I don't want to keep moving it forward. And so I have been able to take on projects like this, big projects, and just work at them at my own pace. So you're going to get to see what I have been up to. So this video is not going to be very long, but you know, y'all have offered me a lot of grace and said, Shannon, we just want to see you. We just want to hang out with you. And I figured a short video is better than no video.
and we're just going to work ourselves back up to where we were at. The devil has been doing his part trying to keep me down mentally and physically, but he don't know who I got on my side. Plus, the Lord has made me very stubborn, and I don't give up easily. He has won a few battles, but the war is not over.
We are going to try and organize this real quick. My plan is to make this one homeschool curriculum, educational reading materials, activity books, and so on. And then that just be strictly kids' library that they can go pick out books from. And so that's my plan. However, I don't know how well that's going to work out for me. But let's see how quickly we can organize this and get that top cleared off.
One of my motivations in starting a YouTube channel, and really one that I think sets my channel apart from others, was the lack of representation in the cleaning decluttering space of people who have physical and mental challenges. I feel like I could help represent those of us who struggle in that way. I wanted to create a space where we could still be productive and tackle all the things, but also show that it's okay for things to move at a slower pace. Even still today, I get caught up trying to match the energy and productivity of some of the other creators, and for me, it's an unrealistic expectation. I can still remember what I was feeling while filming this video. I was tired, overwhelmed, and if I'm being perfectly honest, angry. Remember, I was recovering from being sick for almost a whole month. And with all these feelings, I was standing at the edge of burnout and pushing myself instead of making space to properly heal. This was me jumping off a cliff. I didn't want to let anyone down. You, my family, myself. And as I look back, I really think it was kind of necessary for me to experience, because in this burnout, in this break, in this sabbatical, whatever you want to call it, I've learned so much. And it has also shown me what is important. So I have kind of reprioritized myself, or my life, if you will, a little bit better in hopes to prevent that from happening again. First and foremost, I give my first fruits of every day to the Lord. I don't want to spend any energy on anything else until I have done that. Second is my family and my children's education. I truly believe that my primary mission that God has given me in this life is raising well-rounded humans who will go on to do great things for the Lord. Then my health. This really should probably be second, but you know what? I'm all about honesty. This is just where it sits right now. And then fourth is this channel. I do believe the Lord has blessed this endeavor. It has been so good for my heart and growth as a person. So when energy and time allow, I will be putting out videos. I cannot promise when they will come, but I can promise that they aren't going to stop. So just for algorithm purposes, if you want to set those notifications to alert you when a video is posted, do it, girl or boy. Do it. Because I know that I am really screwing up the algorithm, and I'm going to lose so many people just from my lack of posting.
I'm not really caring for the chair right here, but I think it's just because I want to be able to easily move between the bookshelves. And this is messing up that flow. So we're going to go ahead and move that out of the way. This is actually all of our new curriculum for next year. And I don't want anything happening to it, so I think we're going to relocate this to another room. Eric, can you carry this purple
Box.
box?
Yeah. Let me put down on my notebook. Where do you want me to carry it to?
We're moving it back here to this room. Okay, we are making progress. So far, this is my sell bin / giveaway. There's our first bag of trash. I got a little bit more organization needing to be done. And I've decided I'm going to have a non-fiction section. I don't know why organizing this library excites me so much, but it does. And then we've got a few random books lying around that we need to put away or give away. And then this is pretty much still where we left it. This is another item I'm decluttering. These ABC books, which our grandma got us. And I have a smaller niece and nephew who these books would be perfect for. So I'm going to take them back to grandma, and on our next visit, she can take them. It's been a couple days since I last saw you, and I sent a picture. I'll put it here. I sent this picture to a friend who we're always going back and forth on about our homes and our messes and, you know, whatever. And so I sent it to her, and I was like, look. And she goes, oh, that makes me feel so much better. And I said, I knew it would. She goes, I'll be over in an hour. So find you a friend like that. I'm telling you, she is a gem. Her name's Marissa. Here's a picture of her mid cleaning. So we got to hang out a little bit. And I'm telling you, what would have taken me 2 days, she did in 1 hour. I would like to know the science behind that. I said, I need to know what you're taking. But we determined that when you're dealing with someone else's stuff, it's a lot easier to make decisions. So I'm going to show you what all we did today. It's amazing. So here's the status of the bookshelf. I've got a little junk bin there. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? Here's my stack of empty boxes. Most of this stuff, like I said earlier, is just giveaway or for sale. I've also been working on wiping down all these toys because they were nasty. But look how dusty these blinds are. So we are vacuuming those up too. Anyway, I didn't want to film with her here. She was totally okay with me filming, but I just wanted to enjoy the company and the friendship and not worry about getting camera angles or whatever. I have plenty to do in here, so I've determined that this video is just a take your home back video, and we're going to finish this room. Finish it.
I pray that everyone has a friend like Marissa, just someone who you can share your mess with, who is not going to judge you, and who steps up and comes alongside you to help. I mean, isn't that what we're all called to do? And not only did she help me move forward, but she really rescued me in a time where I was really feeling yucky feelings. And she just came in and brightened my day, gave me motivation to power through, and I was able to do so much more in this space than I had originally planned. There was so much trash in this room, and I kind of expected that. It needed a good clean out. This pink thing is holding all the trash bags, and I'm about to drag it down the stairs. My dad made that pink thing for the girls when they were little to hold all their stuffed animals, and sadly we didn't have any more space for it or need for it, so we had to get rid of it. But that was such a special, sentimental thing for me. I just had to accept the fact that the girls are grown and they don't want a stuffed animal zoo in their rooms anymore. And there just really was no good place to put it. Anyway, here are more giveaway items. out the door. Love it. This room I did end up converting into a homeschool room, so we've been using that all school year. I'm going to show you an update, kind of like a 9-month later update, because honestly it doesn't really look like this anymore. But that's what happens. We made the space work for us. So we'll get in there in a little bit, and you'll get to see a real-time picture, if you will. When I was filming this, again, I mean, I can't tell y'all how bad mentally I was just struggling. Just like brain fog. My brain was so not connecting this. I was forgetting to film. I forgot to get a final shot of what it looked like in the end. So I could not believe it. That is I have never done that, even in my early years of YouTubing. This room has always kind of been just like a whatever space. I think we've used it mostly for homeschooling just because we can kind of keep it messy. I'm not the most tidiest person, and, neither are my kids. It's kind of like the blind leading the blind over here. But I like having this little getaway because we can leave our books out. We can leave papers out. We can leave what we're working on, art projects, whatever. We can leave it out up here because it's not in kind of the main traffic areas. The toys still kind of make a big mess up here. But I need to go back through and kind of thin those out even more because we really don't play with, the kids. Eric pretty much plays with the kitchen and Legos, and the girls are the Barbie dream house. Yes, even still, I hope they hang on to that as long as possible, because even at 12 and 14 years old, I still love hearing them play together upstairs. That's the beauty of homeschooling, I think. It just kind of preserves their childhood just for a little bit longer. It is fading quickly, though.
I guarantee you have never met anyone more determined than me on this Saturday morning. We got our loft area cleaned up and fixed. Hang on just a moment. We decluttered a whole bunch. Now it's time to get this room set up for school. The biggest project is underneath all this is a beautiful table that needs some TLC. Ignore the rest of the garage, okay? We are laser focused on what needs to be done. We are not gonna let the clutter paralyze us. We are not gonna let the clutter paralyze us. And not to worry, the next video I started filming in here was a garage declutter. So we do eventually get to that. But for now, we're just gonna have to ignore the chaos, because we are laser focused on this table. It is actually a August morning when I filmed this, and it was already getting miserably hot. But the only time I could work on this table was in the mornings. Otherwise, it would be too hot to do anything to it. You'll also notice another table in the background that I got for free because I'm crazy. It's currently March, and it's still sitting in that same spot. All right, we got that decluttered, and so we can get a real good look of the condition this table is in. I got it for free. Someone in the neighborhood posted it, and me and my I think I can do that syndrome decided that we were going to refinish this table. Sometimes my brain and my body, they don't sync up very well. Anyway, what I want to do is scrub the bottom really, really good. It's filthy dirty, but I'm thinking some elbow grease. We can get that good as new. And then the big job is to sand, restain, and seal up the top. Okay, I'm using 60 grit, and it barely took off anything. You can see the areas where I did focus on, where the little paint was. But I just realized if I'm gonna do this whole table, I'm gonna be here forever. So I'm gonna get a new game plan together. I'm also genuinely melting out here, and it's only 11 o'clock. Citrus strip saves the day. Well,
Kind of. It was still pretty labor intensive. Before I do the next table, I'm wondering if y'all have any better suggestions for like a finish remover, because this took a couple of coats, a long wait, and still a lot of elbow grease scraping and sanding. The whole time we were doing this, I was thinking there has to be an easier way. There just has to be. But in the end, we did get it done. It just makes me procrastinate on the next table. That one's going to be for our kitchen.
Okay, this is where we're at with the table. There are quite a few imperfections, but I'm hoping the stain will cover those up. Like that, we sanded and tried to get out all these little, like, they almost look like water spots. And there are some pretty deep scratches as well, like right here, that just aren't going to get sanded up. So it's not going to be perfect. I picked out weather oak stain, and so we're going to try it. I kind of wanted to keep it as natural as possible. The stain looks really gray.
Oh, that looks like our...
But I feel like this wood has a natural, like, yellow tinge to it, so I'm hoping they balance each other out so it's not too yellow. I really like that. Okay, that's a winner. Okay, this is where we're at. It's looking really, really good. It's actually, it looks a little more weathered on camera than it does in person. There's not as much contrast as what is being shown. I'm trying to get a good shot of what it looks like, but all those dark shadows aren't that dark. I'm going to let this dry for about 30 more minutes. It's already been about 30 minutes. And then we'll put our first coat of poly on there. All right, we are ready for our first coat of poly. I like to use the oil-based poly. It just seems to be real durable. I use those on my nightstands. And I've left cups on there that sweated, and I was really worried about it, and it is held up just fine. I'm gonna use my brute strength to separate this a little bit. Well, all right, that's as good as that's getting. I used 3 coats on my nightstands, so I think that's kind of what I'm gonna shoot for. We're just gonna do light, thin coats. Light, thin coats. I'm not going to bore you with the other 2 coats of paint, so we will meet back up here when it's done.
The poly coat ended up really pulling out the yellow in the wood. I was sort of disappointed. In retrospect, I wish I would have gone with a lighter stain, like a whitewash, but that's okay. And you just saw how filthy dirty it was. Cobwebs, food grime, you name it. I got some Dawn in a bowl, and we're just going to suds this thing up, get it good and clean, and get it the best we can. One of these days, I'd like to paint it a fun color. You know, with a schoolroom, I like to have fun colors in there. But for now, This is good enough. And are you all ready for the final reveal? Or this is actually present day. This is what it looks like as a functioning homeschool / playroom. And if you made it this far in this video, give the video a like. Let me know you stuck around. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I've got about one more video that was filmed in the past, and then we will be all caught up to present day. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a blessed day. If you haven't already, go say something kind to yourself, and we will see you in the next one.